Hello and welcome to this topic. Today we are going to discuss gestational trophoblastic disease, and it is also defined as abnormal proliferation of fetal trophoblast cells. And World Health Organization divide the disease into two categories. One is molar lesion and the second one is non-molar lesions. So let's discuss today's topic. So, in gestational trophoblastic disease, the main morphological categories as defined here is the formation of hydatidial form moles, invasive mole or choriocarcinoma. And the first thing that we need to see that the hormonal levels. So, in this case, the main thing is that the typical hydatidial form mole is voluminous mass of swollen and sometimes referred as cystically dilated chorionic villi will be formed, and that shape look like a grape-like structure. So the main thing is that how to identify gestational trophoblastic disease. It can be identified or detected in the blood and urine, and the usual level is found higher than the normal pregnancy. So the main diagnostic of this, especially chorionic gonadotropins HCG, is important, and the HCG level in the blood and urine will be higher as compared to the normal pregnancy. So to monitor the efficiency of the treatment, we need to measure the HCG level in the blood or urine. So usually it will be judged, or the clinical therapy will be judged according to the hormonal levels. So this is a normal uterus on the left side, and the right side is a molar pregnancy. And in the molar pregnancy we find grape-like structure, which is round shaped structure. So this grape-like structure that is present in the uterus. So although there are so many categories of hydatidial form mole formation, if it is completely occupied the uterus, then it is known as complete hydatidial mole formation. If it is partially occupied the space, like they are making the moon-like structure, this is the crescentic moon. So this space is partially occupied, so it is partial hydatidial mole formation. Or if in this case the mole and the fetus both live together, we also mention that in partial hydatidial mole formation having fetus is inside. Then we have invasive mole. If the mole will be invasive and it proliferate, and then through it metastasize into different organs like lung, and that can be explained in terms of choriocarcinoma. And if it is occur at a placental site, then it is known as placental site trophoblastic tumor. So it categorized into different forms, and I already discussed that hydatidial mole formation, they are volume in nature because they are swollen and they making like cystically dilated and grape-like structure, and having subclassified into complete or partially, as we see in the previous slide. The cause will be because of the abnormal fertilization. In the United States, usually it occurs 1 to 1.5 per 2000 pregnancies in the USA, much higher in Asian countries, common below as the age of 20 or after the age of 40. So below 20 or after 40 years, the disease is very dangerous. So actually when we talk about choriocarcinoma, especially it could be expanded because of the core ionic villi, and that core ionic villi can be seen here when we zoom them, and these core ionic villi actually contain these hydatidial mole formation, the grape-like structure as you seen in this picture. So they could be invasive mole, or it could be a complete mole as we seen before, or it could be a local invasion. And these hydropic villi which penetrate the uterine wall can rupture and can be life-threatening and can cause hemorrhage. So the proliferation of trophoblastic and syncytial components can leads to metastasis and can cause invasive carcinoma. And for the treatment we need to give them chemotherapy. We will discuss in our pharmacology topics, where we can give them multiple drug regimen, combination of different classification of the drugs. This is another picture going to express about the core ionic villi, and this section is showing you the core ionic villi. And if this core ionic villi, because you can see that this section is connected with the placenta, so if this core ionic villi, if the trophoblastic cells proliferate and reach into the placenta, and if it enter into the fetus, then it can cause hemorrhage as well. So you can see that the connection between the, you can see this maternal arteries, and then it connected with the, you can see that the fetal arterioles and venules, you can this section. So that is very important, because if the placental, if the hydratile mole formation invasive in nature, and if it enter into the fetal arterioles or venules, then it can cause hemorrhage to the fetus. So that is very important. So the gestational choriocarcinoma is the aggressive malignant tumor commonly occur in African, Asian countries, but less common in the United States. 50% of the choriocarcinoma arise from complete hydratile mole. So it means that if a patient having complete hydratile moles, then it can convert it into choriocarcinoma. And then choriocarcinoma is dangerous, because if core ionic villi is affected, then it can affect the fetus as well. So 25% arises after abortion as well. This is another one of the cases why this occur, which leads to the bloody brownish discharge, and it could be diagnosed with the beta HCG level. As we discussed before, the HCG level is the important biomarker for diagnostic purposes. So thank you so much for today's lecture. Hope to see you again.